For over 20 years, the Fire Store has equipped first responders with the best in firefighting gear. Discover seasonal savings on the gear you trust and visit thefirestore.com to shop everything but the truck.
The opinions, viewpoints, and advice shared in this podcast are solely those of the host, Dave McGlynn, and should not be interpreted as reflecting or endorsed by the Department of the Army or the Department of Defense Fire and Emergency Services.
All right. Welcome to another Fire Engineering Podcast, The Training Officer. I am your host, Dave McGlynn. If you are new to the show, one, thank you for joining in. And then two, I just want to give you a quick synopsis, quick background of the show. So we typically like to talk everything training. We like to talk about the ins and outs and the importance and the roles and responsibilities of a training officer. This month's show is not anything new, just we're doing it earlier, so this way we try to reach out to all of you. When we're talking about training officer stuff and we're talking about training our firefighters, the greatest training syndicate and conference and platform out there is the FDIC, the Fire Department Instructors Conference. And who better to sit there and compliment and try to advocate for us to entice you to make sure that you attend and what it's all about than to talk to the man himself, Chief David Rhodes. So tonight I am joined by Chief Rhodes. Thank you for joining me, Chief. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Wouldn't miss it.
Yeah. So we've done this a couple of years now. This year, you and I talked offline about maybe seeing if we can get the message out earlier. So the nice thing is like we were just discussing, we're in early bird registration right now, right? So we recognize fiscally and financially and budgetarily that, people's budgets are tight. If you're in the career side or if you're in a government side anyway, typically fiscal year money drops in October. So you probably are right in the right time for you to be starting to see if you can put a line of accounting toward going to FDIC. And if you can send as many people as possible, we have group rates and all that stuff. But we have a lot of great new stuff. Every year we've expanded and we've improved. And I just wanted to pick your brain for the audience and for maybe new time attendees, but even past attendees to just see what we got going on to hopefully get them to come back and get them to take advantage of the early bird special. So just tell us about FDIC 2020.
Yeah, man. It's off and running. Registration's been open about 3 weeks. We've already had a couple of our live fire classes hit that sellout mark, and always joke. I say they're like Garth Brooks tickets, and the younger generation looks at me kind of funny. But you remember how you used to have to sit there and log on, and you only had about 3 minutes to get the tickets from Ticketmaster. So live fire is getting pretty close to being like that these days. So it's been open. Things are going well. Our numbers are slightly up compared to this time last year. So if you're looking at hands-on training, the sooner you can get registered, the better, because your choices dwindle every couple of weeks. You wait, your choices start getting a little bit sparse, far and few in between, especially in the live fire categories. So get those in. Brought back the group rates again. So even a small group of three makes a group, you get a discount. And of course, the more you register, the more you get off. It's in like blocks of 10 or something like that. So if you want to send, 10, 15 people, you're going to get a pretty substantial discount. And the other thing is we brought back the all-inclusive. So it's one registration gets you everything hot, and we're giving you 20 hours of training versus 16, which everything was pre-conference prior to last year. And so we're giving you 20 hours basically at the normal rate that we've had. Obviously there's price increases from year to year, but you're really you're getting 20 hours of training value now for that rate if you do the all-inclusive package. We've extended hands-on training and hands-on workshops again this year like we did last year. They will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And the big announcement for 2026, sound effect, Kyle, drum roll, is live fire classes expanded to Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to give people more opportunity to get in the live fire classes. We listen to what you say and your feedback, and that was one of the things that was very prevalent in the feedback was more live fire classes. We're limited in space and we're limited in the number of breathing apparatus. Although we do have 350 of them, we can only use them so much. And so the only way to expand that was to add days when those breathing apparatus were not being used, which was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So that opens up several hundred more live fire spots, and those are some of the ones that are filling up. It also gives somebody the opportunity. We know the hotels are expensive. We know travel's expensive. It's hard for days off. But if you register early enough, it gives that person that can't afford that Monday, Tuesday, which means you got to come in Sunday for a hotel. If you want to come in on the regular conference days, like if you want to come in Tuesday night or Wednesday, you still have an opportunity to do live fire. And, we're trying to provide more choices for the attendee to meet their needs. So, yeah, it's going well. We've got several additions to HOT training. All your favorites are back. We've got a new extrication class that's going to be pretty cool with they're going to use some jersey barriers in cars. So these are like these weird situations we run every now and then where like there's a car on top of a jersey barrier. How do you access that patient? It's just sort of teetering up there. How do you stabilize it? Car into a building, tight spaces. How do you go in through the back? So some cool stuff with extrication there. Another one, old Andy Sacadato, one of our book authors and instructors is bringing a hands-on class, maximizing rural water supply and movement. Got a lot of feedback about offering more for the rural environment. And obviously, the biggest challenge there is staffing and water supply. So this guy is phenomenal. He's going to do, 4 sessions of water supply for you. My friend Jenny Grima is back. She was a lead instructor for a few years and took a few years off, but she's back with the body mechanics, leverage for fireground success. This is everything from throwing ladders to moving victims. Really gets into the science and teaches you how to use, body mechanics to accomplish common fireground tasks. It was always a very popular class, and we're happy to bring an updated version of that back. Urban rigging and rescue is back. This is one that we added in like Thursday and Friday, where if you're a rope person, we've got several offerings. Obviously, we do tower rescue, which is how to operate on a cell phone tower, radio antenna. But then that's Monday, Tuesday. But then Thursday, Friday, if you're into the urban rope environment, then you get up in the superstructure of Lucas Oil Stadium and do some rope drills up there, including some raised lowers. They're actually lowering you down onto the football field, into the drill yard. That was a very popular class last year, and it's definitely back. What else do we have? We got some new hot workshops, electric and hybrid vehicle response. Jason DeFasi, who was typically over in the junkyard cutting up a lot of cars. We've actually been able to partner with a couple groups, get some Rivian electric vehicles, a couple to cut up and a couple to go through the parts and pieces. We're going to be getting some CNG vehicles, dump trucks, garbage trucks, possibly a bus. And this is the new hybrid workshop format. So you get some education in the classroom, hour, 2 hours, and then you go out in the field and then you see these things. So it's hands-on, but it's not sitting there with the reps like you do in the junkyard. It's like more geared towards that training officer or somebody that's really trying to up their game and learn these techniques versus just needing a bunch of time on the end of the tool. So little different format, was very popular. So we added some of those, and we think that whole energy area, electric vehicles and the alternative fuel vehicles is a big topic. And we also added a full energy workshop, energy hazard training for responders. This one, Chris Green, who's the guru in that, partnered with the IAFF, and you're going to get hour or so of some really good classroom, and then you're going to go out in the field and see up close and personal a solar panel, how it hooks to the roof, how it's wired, how you disconnect it, how you move it if you got to get it out of the way.
That's awesome.
You're going to see the Tesla garage battery packs for home use. You're going to see how the disconnects work on that, and it's a lot of new stuff in the industry world that firefighters, unless you're in California, you may not have been exposed to some of this stuff, but it's coming everywhere. And so really good to get some up close and detailed training on that. And then probably, my heart is near and dear to search. So I talk about it all the time. Is I have taught the one and only search culture, Justin McWilliams, from out in the great Pacific Northwest, to come in. He's doing a 4-hour classroom lecture on search, and it's residential search, decision making, and coordination from the incident commander to the rookie. And then Thursday, Friday, he's actually doing a hands-on portion. Awesome. Will be on site there at somewhere around the Lucas Oil Stadium area, and he'll be walking you through and talking search tactics. So that's another new one. All the other workshops that everybody has seemed to like is good. The Mastering Fireground Command, based on Calm the Chaos, Castros and Brush. They'll be doing incident command simulations, and we're also doing the tower ladders with Champo. We're doing the forcible entry through the lock with those guys, Bob Morris and Mayer. This one was one that surprised us last year, but we're bringing it back. Tactical response to explosive gas emergencies. Those guys put on a great workshop. It's just something you don't get, but they've got the props. They're running gas. They're blowing up things in a small controlled way to let you see, but they're really going in depth on the gas monitors. And that's really a good one if you're responding to industrial areas, gas leaks. It's just one of those things. It's always a weakness because you don't do it all the time. Mm-hmm. And that's good for anybody. The first arriving unit is if you have a gas monitor, all the way to the hazmat gurus. Our boys are bringing back the rescue training props, how to build props and how to use them. That was a popular one last year. Mid-rise mayhem. Edwards and Stevie and the boys bringing that back in Lucas Oil Stadium. Ray McCormick, nozzlemanship line boss. It's just it's an incredible lineup, and you just have to look at the schedule because these things are scheduled out Monday through Friday, so you're not having to lock yourself into that small Monday, Tuesday format.
Right.
We do have we're working really hard with my buddy Mike over at Redline Gear Cleaning. That was such a successful program last year where we collected, stored, and cleaned everybody's gear from live fire. I think we ended up close to 900 sets of gear clean. That expands because we've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday live fire now. So we're working out the details on that and hoping we can provide that service again for 2026.
Right, which is huge. So I mean, goes without saying, being the chief facilitator for this whole thing, but that's one of the issues that we run into when we try to host live fire training is getting the gear clean, right? We would be hypocrites because we sit here and we advocate for clean gear, and then we would host this. So logistically, I just want the people that would be attending to understand, like, there's a lot of moving parts behind that. And like Chief just said, your message was heard loud and clear. We've expanded H.O.T from soup to nuts. And I always hated that expression, but I mean, literally, like, you got hazmat stuff, you got EV stuff, you got solar panel stuff, not just your regular bread and butter live fire, which is the most important thing. And I challenge you to go to it, especially if we're able to accommodate getting gear cleaned. Like, you should probably go to live fire training. But it's also, I always say this, and it's one of the things that I love, where we're going and where we're bringing the brand. It's the Fire Department Instructors Conference. So while we cover everything, we also want to train trainers, and like you were saying before, you got these simulations on how to build props and all these different things that are going to help aspiring instructors, current instructors, training officers learn from it. So if you're listening, we want the firefighter to go in and get dirty and have fun doing all this stuff because it's great, it's fun, it's educational, and it's the FDIC. But if you're an instructor or if you're a training officer or if you're aspiring to do such, the classroom stuff is great. I teach in the classroom, so I'm not going to tell you not to go to that. But take advantage. The program is so jam-packed with greatness, better than we've ever done it before. And that's no offense to anything in the past. It's just a fact. We're listening, we're progressing, we're including and encompassing all the things that we can consider that we can accommodate, that you would respond to, or that you would be responsible to facilitate a program for. So if you're watching this, get on there. If you're a training officer or an instructor, try to attend and register for these classes. If you got some of your hot shit, I'm trying not to curse, but you're good. Hot shit firefighters, get them in this. Get them in the week-long program because we haven't done HOT where it's expanded across the week. But last thing I want to just touch on before we move forward is you started out in true Georgia fashion, and your description was on waiting online to get was it George Strait or Garth Brooks? Yeah. Garth Brooks tickets. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, man, I love how
he's still around. He's still around. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's still around. Yeah.
Taylor Swift, the younger generation be.
Oh yeah. No, but I just loved it. I'm like, you started out just with that. I'm like, yep, there you go.
Yep. They like that, and they like that in the marketing department too. They're like, you always say that. Not everybody even knows what that means. I'm like, Google it.
Right, Google it. Right, exactly. So we'll move on because we covered a lot of different things, but one of the things you had touched on with the tech rescue piece, and I just want to talk about that because, a lot of our stuff is in the conference center, and we want people to obviously be there. Right across the street is the stadium, and the stadium experience has gotten better and better and better in the years that I've been attending and teaching, and just being part of the board itself. Just what we've invested into that stadium experience is huge, right? I think we're doing it right, and we're capitalizing on the real estate that we have available to us. So we've seen that evolve from the physical fitness, the full spectrum with the wellness, the mental health, recovery, cancer prevention. Talk to us about your vision and why we're doing these great things, and what you envision us to continue to do, why people should make sure that they go across the street, what they can gain from that.
Yeah. So, if you're a longtime FDIC attendee, you know that the all the way back to the RCA Dome was you go over there to see all the ladder trucks up in the air, because that was sort of the apparatus showcase over there. And then along came that nasty little bug COVID, and kind of put a hurting on the convention business and stuff. And a lot of the apparatus manufacturers downsized their floor space needs and stuff, and they moved back into the convention. They moved back in the convention center, over, and that just left the entire football field over there for us to do something with. And when we brainstormed about it, they made the mistake and asked me, and I was like, well, let's turn it into a training yard. And they were like, what do you mean? And so that was 2 years ago. I guess we'll be coming up on the third year of it, maybe third year, I guess. No, fourth year. Yeah. And so we partnered with Lion, and they brought in a 2-story burn building and set it up. That's digital panels and synthetic smoke. We brought in a 3-story tower last year. We're bringing in a second 2-story burn building this year. And basically it was like, let's just open it up that, like, if any of the exhibitors want to do training, if there's any training groups that want to do training, then, they can schedule that space and sponsor the training that's in there. And first year, we threw some of our hot instructors in there to kind of see how it would perform and all. And all of this is free. This is like free training. So like, you come with an exhibit hall pass, you can get into this training over here. And it was well received. The vendors saw how it was, and then we had some more jump on board in the ensuing years. And then this year, I think they've already got 8 major sponsors over there, and classes are filling up. The IAFF is back with their survival class that you can sign up for. Elkhardt's back with brass tacks and hard facts. Elevated safety, the guys who are doing the tower rescue and the urban rescue above, they've actually taken some times in the tower for actual, company level type rope drills. Lifeline fire hose, doing hose stretches. Head rush tech rope is also going to be in there. And then they're still working on, there's probably another half a dozen or so that are working on. There's probably going to be some forcible entry in there. And then those classes will be posted and scheduled. And basically, you just, you can sign up and show up for those, and it's free training. And it went well. It's going well. We'll also have I call it the ESPN game day desk. We're going to have a FDIC TV this year, and we're going to have that desk sitting at the end of the Verizon Park, overlooking or looking as the background will be the drill yard, and there'll be a lot of interviews and a lot of talking about training, and a lot of product profiles and things like that will be going on. And then one of the things that I'm really excited about is we have spent a ton of time revamping our EMS training. And we've got Mike Brown, who is just a phenomenal guy. He's been our lead active shooter instructor for HOT for a number of years. We brought him on in the developmental editorial role for gyms, and assignment number 1 was like, hey, get us high speed, like whiz bang EMS training going. And so with that, what we've done is taken the drill yard is in the end zone of the football field. So if you're in the end zone and then you turn and come down the sideline, is going to be the EMS training area called the sim yard. And that's going to have, best practices from what we've learned in the drill yard, what we've learned in health and wellness. And the exhibitors are going to be using their latest and greatest equipment. There's going to be virtual reality. There's going to be XR simulations. And ambulances in there with different things going on, all training related. There'll be, everything from patient assessment. We'll probably have a car crash in there with live victims with a lot of those prosthetics they use for training now. So like, instead of just the old rubber IV arm, there may be something that's on a real arm that you're starting an IV on. There's bleeding control. They're going to be doing some active shooter stuff over there. So a lot of excitement around that whole sim yard area, and a lot of possibilities over there. And in addition to that, while we're on the EMS, let me say that Mike has assembled an all-star cast for the normal education part back in the conference center for pre-conference. We used to do a couple of pre-conference EMS workshops, and then we did our normal hour 45 stuff through the week. He's got EMS workshops going all week, in addition to the cadaver lab and all the things that you've come to know. But some of these names, if you're in the EMS world, you'll recognize them, that are going to be our superstars. Dr. Peter Antevi, Ben Abo, Bob Page, and so many others that he has gone out and got the A+ crowd coming in. And as we've done for the last several years, a lot of our training, even fire training, is CAPCE-accredited for EMS credit. That includes probably half the hands-on training. If there's anything to do with the patient, rescue of a patient, assessment of a patient, you're getting CAPCE credit for your EMS research. And that's such a good way to get those hours than some of the alternative ways. So that's going to be just unbelievable as far as the amount of talent and time that we've put into that section. So hoping to get a lot of new EMS folks in there.
Sure. No, I agree. I think that, and all due respect to the EMS world, we've, again, hats off to Mike for sure. We've revamped that, like you said. We made GEMS cool. And you know what I mean when I say that, and I share that because, it's not just for exclusive to just your EMS folks. A lot of the firefighters are paramedics and EMTs, right? So, like you were just saying, Chief, about the continuing education credits. This isn't just going to be awesome training. You're also going to walk away with having those con eds that you would need to retain or maintain your license. But I can tell you, like, the past couple of years, that thing just keeps growing and growing and growing. The whole practicality behind how that thing is set up is just awesome, because we've all been there. Like, we've all been through the PowerPoints, the death by PowerPoint, going over the anatomy of, of everything, and trying to, just keep your eyes open so that you can get your training done. No, like, this is the FDIC, and
we're pushing hands-on EMS, and it's at the lab format, and
you're going to know what you're doing when you're there, and when you walk away. You're going to get better at your emergency medical care when you walk away from that. I have no doubt.
Cardiology masterclass, the POCUS class, the point of care ultrasound, where they're doing that in the field now, a resuscitation academy. I mean, these are like the things that are going on that are like, the top of the line. Also got another rock star there, old Paul Barnagy, is another one that's, these guys are huge. They have their own training fields. They're highly respected in the area. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but over there on GEMS, a little revamp too is we got the old salty paramedic there doing a podcast over there on GEMS. And what a great guy. He's hilarious. Everybody follows him on social media for his little comedy bits. And you know how the old what's the old dude Dave does the one bite pizza reviews. This guy basically, he'll take videos off of social media and he'll kind of review his own review of a social media post. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I know.
So he's going to be he's going to be a big show for us this year too.
Yeah, I agree. No, I 100% agree with that. Just a follow up to that for the listener or the viewer. So is there a registration for those classes, or when people are over there, can they just attend. They just have to look at the schedule and see.
Any of the sim yard, drill yard, most of those will have a registration, but they do take walk-ups as well. They just want that registration to know a number that's coming. But typically there's somebody that can register if you're there. And some of the things in that area may be demo type related, like they may be doing some training on a product. And if you happen to be there, they're going to let you use it. It's not really a class, an organized class, but it's going to be an opportunity to put your hands on the equipment and actually perform whatever it is. And they're going to have some competitions. We made the decision not to continue the traditional gyms games that we'd been doing left over from the EMS conference. Just wasn't really the attendance that it had once been, but we're going to have some smaller competitions there in that area, and then like some playoffs and championships. So you might be doing a task and score, and they're going to call you back and say, hey man, out of everybody today, you were top 5. We're bringing the top 5 back in to go a little head to head here on, whatever this competition is. So it should be pretty
really
fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
And it's happening in a place that, is a professional football field, So
yeah,
how cool is that,
Still got the health and wellness area. That's expanded a little bit. We'll bring in back the health and wellness stage where Stephanie and company will be doing podcasting and interviews from over there. A lot of vendors have moved into that area, in that space, whether it be your cancer detection folks will be doing free screenings again out there. And then just a cast, really all-star cast of folks that are going to be on that stage, or Sarah Jankeys, a lot of your nutritionists and folks will be talking about mental health and everything else. So that's going to be a phenomenal area too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, what does she refer to it as? Like her TED's Talks of Firefighter Nation.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. It's a big stage, and it's a nice forum that is set up. So that's another one that, as you're walking through Lucas Oil, take in everything that's there, but sit in on that. We have seats set up for you to be part of the audience. It's very interactive. The audience asks questions. I know Steph and her group, they encourage that, and it helps with the talking points. Kind of like whose line is it anyway, except try to take it serious. Don't yell out random stupid stuff. But it's I think for the viewer and for the listener, if you've never attended, it's going to just be an awesome experience regardless, right? So the first time I ever attended FDIC, it was an awesome experience. We've grown.
Yeah. The very first time
adjective would be extensively, but I guess, whatever. This is where you need Trump to add in like his adjectives, but we've done a lot of growing.
Yeah. I think the first hands-on training, I believe, was 1997, and it was called Hands-On Tuesday, and it was in the parking lot at Lucas Oil at RCA Dome. Yeah. And there was probably 10 of us, 10 groups out there doing some stuff like throwing ladders up against the wall, tying knots. I mean, it was very basic, but it was well received. And then that grew to Monday, Tuesday, and then that grew to academies. Then it grew to acquired structures. And then now we're going all the way out to the University of Illinois, with like 30 buses. So it's insane. And then now we've expanded it to Monday through Friday. It's like our logistics crew and our staff is like, we're doing what?
Yeah.
Then we got some big things for the show too, for the regular conference. Well, I guess the biggest thing is we have consolidated everything into one grand opening ceremony for 2026. There won't be an opening on Wednesday and then another opening on Thursday. And basically just after doing it for a couple of years and seeing how it flows, it's neat, but we do shrink the room down on Thursday, and definitely, not as many people in there for that, even though it's still full. It's a smaller room. So we got to looking at the space and the time, and I was like, man, I can add 23 classes if we cut that out and get more instructors, more training. And I'm like, as much as we love to hear ourselves talk, and I do think opening ceremonies is important because it sets the tone. It's motivational. You get the bag. I mean, who doesn't get the old heebie-jeebies when the bagpipes are all kicking in there and they're doing the old Cajun Amazing Grace, and you're getting the hot videos, and just the whole vibe of that room is just really, gets you pumped up for the week. But we're going to do that. We're going to go back to 2 hours instead of an hour and a half like we did last year. So we're going back to a full 2 hours, 8 to 10. And we're going to put everything in there. It's like, it's, everything's in that one opening. And as I always said, once you're open, you're open. No need to open again. So we'll do that. Doing a lot of partnerships. The theme is going to be around the 25th anniversary of 9/11, which obviously is April, and that won't be till September, but we're going to get that rolling in April. It's going to be about remembrance and resilience. And our keynote speaker, we're like super blessed to have this guy coming. And I wanted to find somebody that was like the definition of resilience with 9/11. And so we have Frank Siller from Tunnel to Towers is going to be our keynoter. And, his brother was killed in the tower. He's the one that ran through the tunnel with his gear to get there because the traffic was backed up. And he's taken that tragedy and turned it into a foundation that pays off the mortgages for houses of police officers, firefighters, and military that are, killed in the line of duty. And then now, the man's a wild man. He's taken on homeless veterans.
Yeah.
And he's opened up 3 or 4 huge. They're getting old hotels donated. They're renovating them.
He's making communities out of them. It's awesome.
Yeah. And then he's like, the whole first floor is health services, job services, training. It's all the social services, because you can't just house them. You got to get them back into society. And sometimes it's job training. Sometimes it's psychological, mental health. Sometimes it's medical. And so all that's available. So it's just an amazing story. I believe in the foundation. I donated a car to it recently this year. My daughter moved off and needed a better car. So I took her beater from college that we patched together and made it work. And I'm like, I get 3,000 or 4,000 for this, or I could donate it to Tunnels to Towers. So I did the whole thing, and we're just really excited about having Frank come out and talk to us about resilience and foundation. So
it's going to be huge.
Got that. We'll still do all the awards. Still have all the good stuff that's expected, and then we'll go straight to training. And then Thursday morning we'll open up full classroom. You'll have Wednesday late morning session, then you'll have all day Wednesday afternoon, and then the sessions will open up for the full day on Thursday, half a day on Friday. And then with that, another couple other new initiatives. One is going to be what I'm calling the HITS room, high intensity training sessions. And we're going to use the 500 ballroom. We're going to decorate it up like a theater. And we're going to have 4 4-hour sessions. So we're going to do Wednesday afternoon, all day Thursday, and half a day Friday. And if you go into that session, you don't have to go to the whole thing if you don't want. I mean, it's kind of come and go as you want, but the session's set up for 4 hours, and you'll hear 10 speakers in 4 hours. Instead of going to the hour 45 sessions, it's short 20-minute educational sessions, educational, motivational, some funny. We'll have the salty paramedic in there on every session, sort of a midpoint break to get a little lesson and a little humor in there. But we've just got an all-star cast lined up for that room. And it's 4 totally different sessions. There are some repeats, but we'll be putting that up pretty soon on the website with that schedule. And that's going to be awesome. And then this hadn't come out yet, but we're getting close to releasing a exclusive opportunity for 40 people to participate in our FDIC leadership education and development, which is basically a leadership certification. And it's going to be a multi-year deal with a curriculum. There'll be some required classes, some required live fire, some required technical rescue, some required management. There'll be some private classes with some of our board members and our mentors. And then you're going to have year-round access to fire engineering training to do company officer 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to have quarterly personal sessions, small groups with mentors. It's going to include some fire engineering books. And, you know, if you really cram it and take the full load, you can complete it in 2 years. It'll probably take 3 years for some people to do it, but we're going to actually give you that leadership certification in that. And hopefully that'll grow into a really big program as well. But that's going to be limited to 40 people as soon as we announce it.
Yeah. And an acronym for that is LEAD, which I think is just very fitting. It's very cool. So I think, that's going to be huge. That's just going to continue to grow as well as like everything else that the brand has been doing. No, you covered all the things that I need.
We still got the summits, man. We still got to talk about the summits.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about that.
So the summits came about, several years back. The two anchor ones were the Metro officers, and that one's really cool. It's so the I Chiefs has the Metro Chiefs, and you got to be a chief in a department over, I think it's 300, 350, something like that, to be in that. And that's a good group. They, common problems. They're discussing those common problems. So what we did is we started the Metro officers, which is for that second level of command. It's the deputy chiefs, the assistant chiefs, the operations chief, the logistics chief, the maintenance chief, facilities, the finance. And it's really been super successful because those are the doers. They're talking about the problems they're facing, how they're dealing with it. And it's user-generated agenda. So like this group meets before FDIC, you sign up and you become a part of this group. And then they decide what they want to talk about. And then they decide who they're going to bring in to talk to them about it. So maybe it's, you're looking at telehealth or something like that for your department. Then they find a department that's doing it super well, and then they bring in whoever's in charge of that program to present to them. Then they also look at new technologies and things, like the gear washing, the standards changing, and how are you handling gear washing in 2 sets of gear and gear swaps? How are you handling apparatus maintenance, in your department? So it's high level stuff. This is we say FDIC is where the whole fire service comes together, right? It's the vendors, it's the chiefs, the second levels, it's all the way down to the firefighters, volunteer, paid, EMTs, private, public. It's everybody. And so, your deputy chief of operations is usually not interested in taking a forcible entry class. All right. So this is their opportunity to participate in executive level sessions, also have some training, and then also network. And then they talk year round. And so that's an anchor program. We got Dan Shaw in there as our subject matter expert, was the operations chief in Fairfax. And he's managing and sort of moderating that group. And then over on the gym side is the GEMS Summit. And that's all your EMS folks, medical directors, same type of format, high level stuff. What problems are you facing? What are you doing about them? Network opportunities. And then we've added an industrial summit. So industrial firefighters, again, they always sort of get left out of the mix because it's a private deal usually. And so we've got an industrial track with several classes specific to industry. We're doing webcasts now on industry specific stuff, and they have their own meeting there at FDIC. We have the aircraft rescue firefighters, ARF, and airplane rescue and fires. We've got that summit going on. We have the technology summit going, which is anything from flying vehicles. They got these little single transport deals that can take a rescue tech up to the top of a mountain to access a patient. So it's things like that. It's drone programs. It's tech detection and monitoring. It's AI. It's how to use AI in your department to take care of tasks, how to manage, things. And we're constantly looking for new participants, robotics, tracking systems, all of that kind of stuff is in there. So it's a full slate. And what we did again is we moved those were like Wednesday, Thursday events. We've moved all of those up to Monday, Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So all this stuff is going on simultaneously. And another thing that's is kind of important on our end, but it's it's no whiz bang stuff for the attendee other than just convenience, is we went through and took that floor plan and took our class attendance records, and we've had the same layout for 20 years. Classroom 237 held 300 people in this setup. And we went through and we said, hey, we can do more classrooms. So we got more meeting space, more classrooms, just in the way we've divided up the floor plan. And so we're able to get a lot more things in the convention center so that we're not having to walk all the way over to a hotel for one of these meetings or what have you. It's all somewhat centrally located there. Still got to walk down to LOS. Nothing we can do about that one, but we try to make it worth it when you get over there for sure.
Yeah. There's a lot of eye candy on the way in there.
The app should be launching probably January. Another big upgrade to the app. We're going to, you can go in before the show. You can put your classes in there. I think it may even download your classes if you have the right login. And then you can research your exhibitors you want to see and create like a little like, okay, this one's close to this one. So you're not walking all over the place, just looking. You can develop a plan, and you can put that plan in the schedule and say, okay, I want to go talk to a vendor at 10 o'clock, but I want to be back over here for McGlynn's class in, room 400 or whatever it is. So, that's going to be an awesome upgrade as well.
Yeah. No, I think everything is accessible. Like just what you were saying, the information's there. Everything's kind of, we've essentially, other than the hot stuff that we have to send people out for, but essentially located a lot of stuff, which is convenient. So it's like, it's a one-stop shop, other than where, and even there, the meeting grounds to get on the buses is at the convention center. But, other than the hot part, we're doing everything at the convention center and at Lucas Oil.
Parking lots are full, and that includes some hands-on training. Some of it we're doing there on site.
That's what I was just going to say. Those parking lots, man, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in there too.
Yeah. And you get, let's say if you do like a hot workshop, it's on site. You get the full time. So like, if you got a 4-hour hot class, you're going to be there before it starts. Like you're going to be there way before 8 in most cases, unless you're in one of the faraway sites. But you're going to get off the bus. You're going to train for about 3 hours, 3.5, and then you got to get back on the bus because you got to get back for the 4-hour swap at lunchtime so people can go back. So you lose a little bit. There's nothing can be done about it because of the distance of the, we're taking you to Academy to burn. To Burns. We can't do that in the parking lot to any good degree. That's going to be something big that you want to go to. And so when they do these hybrid workshops, you show up at the classroom at 8 or 1:30, whatever time it starts, and you're getting the full you're getting the full 4 hours, of that time. There's no bus travel time. Some of them don't require you to have gear. Some of them, if you want to participate, you bring your gear, but you don't have to bring it, because sometimes you can just watch on those classes. Another one we're doing too that's kind of cool is Wednesday afternoon is a 4-hour all immersive Spanish class for search, forcible entry, fire tactics. And then Thursday is an 8-hour hands-on class, all Spanish. And so we've really been pushing that to the Latin American countries and getting some good response from email. We'll see how that turns out, but that's going to be a first as well. So we're really looking at that international community and providing them some good training as well.
Yeah. No, I think that's going to be huge also. So just for the people that would need to know, you being the guy, right? So how do they register? Where should they go to do that? And what should they be doing to get that done?
Yep. FDIC.com. And then it's going to give you some choices. If you want to do an individual registration or a group registration, you just click on there and it just walks you through the process. If you have any problems, there's a customer service line. You can call to help, but the all-inclusive has really helped. Used to if you want to do hands-on and conference, it was 2 separate registrations. It's all now one thing. You can sign your forms online, your waiver forms for hands-on training, and get all of that done ahead of time. So it's still a lot of information to put in, but it's definitely streamlined from the past.
Mm-hmm. And then the biggest question is the hotel stuff. So I'll just start and just say real estate is very far and few between, because people try to pack in and register as soon as they can. But nonetheless, I'd be remiss not to ask you. So, when they register, is some of that hotel information available when they do the registration?
Yep. You can go straight to the link for the hotel and you put in your preferences. Our vendor there is Connection Housing, and they record all that, and then they start making room assignments and notifying you. You put your preferences in, and it is if you everybody's like, oh, can I get a downtown hotel? Yeah, absolutely. If you register now.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But you got to register now. There's 37,000 attendees, and there's not that many rooms.
Right.
So the Indy is building a couple of new hotels. Won't be ready for this year, but hoping that it could be ready, in 27. If not, definitely it'll be ready in 28. But it's looking good. It's about halfway up, and it's going to be in between the convention center and the Omni now, right there at the old Pan Am Plaza. And it's going to be a swanky one. But see, we get the vendors to move over there and get those $high rooms.
I mean,
yeah,
that's a good idea.
There's a couple other ones out kind of in the back too that have been under construction back towards where they're building the soccer stadium. It's not too far, but it's a premium. And if you want that downtown experience, you have to register early. Yeah. Like now, it's already filling up.
That's the biggest thing on why we decided, you and I had talked before, just moving the show up. Now we used to do it right before FDIC, and by
the time you hear it, it's all sold out. So.
Right. So that's I can't harp on that enough. I thought it was a great suggestion when you said it, and that's why we scheduled it for now. Early bird's going on now, and I'm listen. It is what it is. I would love to be able to say that we have some kind of magic wand and help people out, and we can lock up rooms and stuff like that.
We do not control the hotel rates.
Right. It's not that easy. So just register now and lock up your real estate and just understand the price is what it is. It's not something that FDIC or fire engineering controls. It's the nature of the beast, but there's that convenience. You pay for that convenience. But if you wait, you're not going to find it. So now is
And
the time.
There's shuttles to the other hotels out, to the
Sure.
airport and other areas that run pretty consistently. Obviously you can Uber if you want, but
They even run, I
that,
think, like an hour or so after the show's over, after they run past 5 p.m. I know that, which is nice. Like you said, there will be, if you don't get something and you're not downtown, there's we have it set up that you're able to get to class. All the hotels that there's, most of them have a shuttle that is able to bring you to class, and you're going to be able to get the experience. But just, if there's anything you take away from all the cool stuff that is going to be at FDIC this year and how much we've grown, get your ass online and register as soon as you possibly can. I'm telling you.
And if you register for H.O.T, it's if you've been there a few times, you got the system down and you know what to look for. But if you're a first-time H.O.T person, you have to read the information we send you about bus loading and times to report. It never fails. Somebody, it says that their flashover class starts at 8:00 and they show up in the lobby at Convention Center at 8:00 and the bus left an hour ago.
Yeah.
And, we'll do our best to get you there, but you're missing class. You've got to read those instructions and know where to go. We're going to try to put some maps in the app as well to help with that. But definitely, if you're a first timer, get in those details, those directions, and read those emails, get you. And we know how firefighters are. Like, oh, look, I got an email from FDIC. Dear attendee, they're just letting me know that I'm there, but it's giving you specific instructions on.
Right, open that stuff and read it.
Yeah, what you need to do, where you need to go. So
before we close it out, I just on that, if you're a first-time attendee, so what? Let's say that they're going to be signing up for some H.O.T stuff, or they're interested in doing some of that. What's some of the stuff that they need to bring, and some of the stuff that we would probably be able to hopefully accommodate that they wouldn't have to bring? So this way they know in advance.
Yeah. So you're carrying your gear a long way. So if you have roller bags, the gear bags with rollers on them, that's awesome. Some people walk from the hotels. But, usually you got a backpack and then you got your gear bag. Just the typical stuff. We'll have water for you on site and that kind of thing. But if you're getting there early, there's not a lot of places open in the convention center to get breakfast or anything. So you need to take care of that before you get down there for the bus loading. If you're going to be doing live fire or anything in gear, take you some dry socks, things like that, just to make yourself, more comfortable. If you don't have time for that swap, in the lunchtime turnaround, we do provide lunches on site. They'll hand you a box lunch and put you on the bus. You'll eat it on the way back to the convention center for your turnaround. Unless you're in an 8-hour class, then you'll eat on site. So we have that, and just anything that you think you might need. It's you're out in the field. So if you're prone to getting headaches, take you some headache medicine with you. If you're, just typical common sense stuff. It's we can't just snap our fingers and have stuff. We do have obviously medics and first aid stuff available, things like that if somebody gets a cut, but any of the little conveniences you want. If you want a power bar, if you want something special to drink other than water or sports drink type stuff, bring that with you. And they put the gear all under the bus. You can keep your backpack with you on the top of the bus. And think about it. You're going to be gone. It's 8 hours of training in the day, but you're probably going to be gone 10, 11 hours. And then if you're doing the RIT under fire at Illinois, you're leaving at 6 a.m., and so you got to know you got a 2-hour bus ride and you're not going to get back until late. So that's a big thing. Again, follow those instructions on your registration. Right.
And then just as far as any other things that you would need, make sure you have your full PPE that you would need. Are we providing SCBAs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we provide all the SCBAs and face piece. There will be fit testing again that takes place on Sunday when we open up over there, and you either need to be fit tested or sign the fit test document saying that you have a fit test and provide documentation. And so that usually goes pretty well for a couple hours over there, but that's only for live fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just like Chief said, if you register for that, open your email and read it. All the information is in there, right? So there's stuff that we might have left out or whatever. Read that. Know what you need to bring. Know how you need to be dressed. Know that you know what you need to have with you before you fly out. Get that stuff prepared and ready. Almost create a checklist for yourself. So this way you're prepared and ready, and hydrate. And I stress on that because I'm not going to I'll dance around it in the political sense, and I'll just say, listen, there's an experience after hours, and we all do it, and it's fun, and do it. It's a good way to shoot the shit and catch up with guys, cut up with guys, and have a good time. But if you got training going on, we've all been there. Try to be cognizant of a somewhat decent bedtime. You'll see your friends tomorrow, and hydrate. I promise it'll be worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always a few that miss the bus on Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah. So before we close out, any final things from you, Chief? Floor is yours.
Just, really encourage you to come, whether you've been before or you're a first timer. It's an unbelievable experience. The whole fire service is there, from, the apparatus manufacturers to the rookie firefighter to the seasoned FDNY veterans. I mean, it's speakers are accessible. The bookstore is there. You can meet a lot of your favorite authors and speakers. It's just wide open, and it's a great experience to get to meet some of these people and also to network. And it's like anything else. It's like there's magic that happens over here, but then there's also the magic of that after hours stuff you're talking about, where you might be sitting at the table with somebody drawing an idea on a napkin, and 5 years later, that's a product.
Yeah.
Because you're talking to a manufacturer or whatever, and maybe you're on the show floor talking to them, and just the relationships that you build there's nothing else like it. I mean, there's nothing in the North America that's even close to getting to that scale. So there's something for everybody. Private EMS, public EMS, fire service EMS, fire service, technical rescue, hazmat, industrial fire, ARF, wildland. I mean, we got it all covered in some form or fashion. And then we've got the health and wellness. We've got all those experiences where you can put your hands on products and use them. The outdoor training area, where you can go out there and flow water and operate remote vehicles and all those things. I think there's a forcible entry area out there. Mm-hmm. It's just tons of stuff. I mean, I always say it's kind of like going to the Smithsonian. It's hard to do it all in a couple of days. You really have to make your plan and wear comfortable shoes.
Yeah.
Wear comfortable shoes, because you're going to walk miles and miles and miles.
Right. And then I'll just say, just I'm a dork, and it is what it is. But when it comes to this show, it's my favorite thing of all the things that I've encompassed in my career. Soak it in. Be a sponge. Don't waste any opportunity. Like you just said, Chief, I always say that I have nothing else to compare to the level of networking that FDIC offers. It is just epic. It's the greatest thing that I've ever been fortunate to be a part of. And I think that if you're a new attendee, soak it in. Don't be offended if somebody doesn't have all the time in the world to talk to you, because I know that I recognize that there's a lot of people that are fans of people, and they're, oh, that guy's my mentor. Take an opportunity to talk to these people. Understand that we jam pack everything in that 1 week. So soak it up. Don't just pigeonhole yourself to following around one particular person or only going to those classes. There's a lot of thought process, a lot of facilitation, a lot of logistics, a lot of planning, and a lot of bureaucracy that goes into giving you this week-long awesome show. Be a sponge. Take advantage of every opportunity that you can. Talk to everybody that you can, and then stay in touch with those people and build off of it and plan for the following year and just try to keep going and inspiring other people to go. That would be my advice. It's the greatest thing I've ever been part of, and I say that not to be a geek, but I know I am a geek. I'm just telling you, the listener and the viewers, there's plenty of you whackers out there. It's awesome. I've been doing it for years now. I'm part of the board, and I get to teach there. And I'm like a kid every time I got to show up. So I'm telling you, from one firefighter to another, get your ass online, take advantage of the early bird, register, lock down some real estate, start looking through that program, picking your classes, and just soak in everything that you possibly can. Soak it all in. And if you're on a tight budget, do what you can, because there's plenty of opportunities that are going to be there that week. And most certainly be there on Wednesday morning for the opening ceremonies other than the classes. Because I'll tell you, like, that thing is just, you're ready to go to the classes after we do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's good recharge.
Yeah. That's a perfect word for it.
And I'm already working on 2027 too, by the way.
Nice. Nice.
You can't stop.
Yeah. No.
That year goes by so fast. So you got to kind of have your plan for the next year when you get on site and be looking at things. Where can we do this? What can we do here? What's new? You know, and it just keeps rolling, man. I'm so fortunate to be, have the opportunity to sort of be the guardian of this for a little while. So we'll do what we can to keep it rolling and make it the best experience possible. Because that's really what it's about, the attendee. That's the whole deal. It's like, if you're coming there and you're not getting the training you want and you're not getting to meet the exhibitors that you need to see, then, it's not worth it. But hopefully we're giving you what you want. And, and you're going back recharged and refreshed to take on the rest of the year back home. And you've made some really cool relationships and gotten exposed to some things that maybe you wouldn't have been able to know about otherwise.
Yeah, no, I agree. Thank you. Well, that's it for me. I appreciate your time, Chief. Hopefully we see you guys out at FDIC. But until then, this is Dave McGlynn with Fire Engineering Podcast, the training officer. Register for FDIC. Be safe, and hopefully we see you then.